What's up, everybody? Tarris Troy Horton here. I'm with my great friend Donald Kirby. Here tonight on Kirb and Hort's Wednesday Night Sports. We're going to be right back with you. But as we do every week so far, we're going to uh, start it off with a little bit of my old Kentucky home. Start off. Kentucky home. This guy's name's Paul Roberson.
Yes, sir.
It's always my favorite part right here. Welcome, everybody. If you guys got to want to get in here and get in the chat and let us know you're here by leaving a message, a comment. If you see something funny, leave us a laugh
Even
emoji.
if you're a hater.
Said we're just here doing what we've been doing for a very long time.
What's up, Cough?
Brian back in the house. What's up, Brian Kaufman? One thing about this song that I don't think that you guys might know, and I thought about this today because I'm a lyricist and I listen. He said, "And the sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home," and he says this, "In the summer, the darkies are gay." I'm like, oh my, I swear.
Oh Lord.
I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. That's our song. But back in the day,
What's up, Prince?
he's probably happy. He's probably happy, like, oh yeah, man, the darkies are gay.
Well, I'm sure I think he means probably gay as in happy.
Like, yeah. Like it's happy. Yeah. Oh yeah.
No offense to nobody. What's up, Mr. Prince?
I just thought that was really funny. What's up, everybody? We got James Prince in the house too. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing today? Getting your popcorn ready? We got a good show for you today. Once again, we got.
I'm gonna need some Kentucky backup this week.
How's your week been, Kirb?
Been pretty good. Other sports wise, it had been. It's been one of my worst weeks, but overall, can't complain. It's been a good week. What's up, Bob?
Jay's in the house. Hort and Kirb and Hort plan to use this platform to bring smiles and laughter while being a vessel to promote a personal relationship with God, however that be, your higher power, however you see that. We want to use our programming to bring positive vibes and positive energy to our community, man. And great time last week, man. I want to say that was a great time.
It was.
Man,
especially it being like our first time we ever did it, and just just like the participation we had with everybody, and it was just like I said, it was just like old times. You know what I mean? That's what I loved about it.
Go Mountaineers already. We're doing it. I lost my money selling my Louisville basketball tickets. I lost your money selling. Well, speaking of Louisville basketball, let's just get right into it and let's analyze this game from last. It's a minute and 21 seconds. Hopefully, you guys can bear with us. Appalachian State. What I'll take away from this season so far is we're only losing by 1 point each game. 1 point. So we're in the game, man. We're not in the game, right? Am I wrong, Kirb?
You're not wrong at all, but I mean, with the teams that y'all are playing, y'all should be down by one. You should be up by one. I mean, you know, Louisville, they may not win a game this year.
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
not far
y'all
fetched.
are y'all for real. I love you, but y'all are absolutely terrible. I
I mean,
mean,
I can't do anything
I
except take
think
that.
I for real think that like if they got a team with like some of the better players in Hardin County together, they could beat
Oh
y'all.
my God! Come on, Kirb.
Bro,
These are still athletes. These guys are still athletes. I'm not giving up on them quite yet. I'm not giving up on them
I'm
quite.
not saying that, but I mean your season's just going to get tougher.
We're
So
going
you know the
now. I
competition
was
is
hoping
going to get more, and then you're in that now. You know you're in the ACC. You got Duke, North Carolina, you know Virginia, and all that. I mean, it's not going to get easy. So
I was hoping
they
I
gonna
was
have to grow up. They gonna have to grow up quick. That's for sure.
yeah, I was hoping that they would at least try to like figure something out, but it's not working out for them so far. I'm not jumping ship like I've heard a lot of people talk about going after Kenny Payne's head and things like that. I'm
No.
not to that point yet. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to that point where I'm going to think that we should get rid of Kenny Payne.
What did Prince say? Heard it going where?
King of the Bluegrass Tournament.
Oh,
This
dang.
guy. I think it was Kelly Smith earlier said,
Dang.
calm down. I'm like trying to hit a lot of different buttons and I'm missing out on some things. Kelly Smith said today that Louisville got beat by Horton Central Junior High. And
Bro,
my comeback was at least Marty Matuziak will be able to outcoach Coach Cal in the last 2 minutes of a game. That was my comeback.
and that is that's a problem that you know we're having. But you know, as much as people want to blame coaches, you know, I think you still got to blame players as well because you know, as I've told so many people, not so many, but as I've talked about it today, had we hit our free throws, we wouldn't have went to either overtime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
We
mean,
had, and then we had like a really bad defensive breakdown where Sheway's guy was underneath the goal by himself, and you know gets a pass from out of bounds and dunks the ball and ties the
here it is
game.
right here. I'm going to play it for you. Is
It's
what
crazy.
you're talking about. Right here is where it breaks down. It breaks down right here where Sheboy is looking like he doesn't know whether he wants to go follow the kind of white guy right there or the guy that because he looks stunned right here. He's freeze right there. He's stunned, and that gives the guy the chance to break away for an easy dunk. It's just a breakdown in
Unbelievable.
defense right there. I don't understand. I mean, that's just a breakdown in defense. It, and
Well, you know, I just think that they've got to fight to get around those screens. I agree, Jay. Elementary basketball.
yeah,
You know, I just feel like that they got to communicate more. That's to me, that's definitely a communication breakdown on the floor. Coach Cal can only do so much. I think that he's still trying to find the perfect lineup, which that could cause some issues too, because you know that could make things kind of hard for some guys. So my hope is that he gets a starting five that he trusts and believes in, and then you know find a six man whatever and let it go from there. Like this here, this is crazy.
you can't.
You
That's
can't do that.
Jay Fredericks right there. That was just poor
I mean,
defense. You got to step in front of him or something like that. I mean, I like CJ Fredericks a lot as a basketball player, but that was just poor defense. And what happened to him stepping up and shooting? And who was shooting when Sheboy went out? When Sheboy went out, it was like the game was already over. James, I found the perfect lineup, and he definitely doesn't fit it. Here's James's perfect lineup: Wallace, Fredericks, Reeves, Oscar, and Toppins.
me and James talked about this last night, and I agree with him 100%. To me, that is the perfect lineup. Absolutely, because we've got our shooting, we've got the rebounding. You know, all you got to do is go 100%.
Brian has got a great point too. Communication is the weakest link in all athletic sports today. But teamwork. Everybody's not out for team, especially in this type of basketball. I can say
Hmm.
people don't play team basketball anymore. It's me, 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 me.
I agree.
Go get it.
But that's one of the that's like I said, that's like a breakdown. I mean, when you have a guy that's going to the bucket because, like you said, you're fearing for that guy shooting a three. Which I mean, if I was in Oscar's shoes, I'd have done the same way. But if somebody sees Oscar doing that, then somebody's got to break down where Oscar's going to. You know what I mean? That's just a breakdown of communication, in my opinion.
Where is Kentucky going to go to when Sheboy gets in trouble, because he can't stay out of foul trouble? They're going to, as any coach would do, if people watch film, they're going to bang on the inside. And Sheboy did a very good job, from what I was listening to on the radio, of when he sensed that he had 4 fouls, he'd let up. I heard the guy talking about that. I mean, what are they going to do when that comes up?
What's up, Tyler Pritchard? I feel like that. Honestly, the couple of fouls that they gave Sheway were not fouls. Like, he was trying to get position down low. His elbow went underneath the guy's chin. They called him for a foul. Come on, man. I mean, that's crazy. That's basketball.
It's
And the
basketball.
guy and the guy flopped. You know what I'm saying? So to me, he should hit that. That's crazy. But to your question, I mean, that's where I think Toppin, I think where even the new, I can't even pronounce the new guy, the 7 footer that's 18 years old. That's where they got to come into play at. But I think that also Cal can't jerk these guys out as soon as they make a mistake either. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that rides on their confidence when he does that. So, and then another point is, like Dickie V said last night, Michigan State was not afraid of Kentucky. They just played Gonzaga. We played Howard. We played Howard, and we played Bethune Cookman. I'm glad we got those games for those guys so they can get a paycheck.
In case,
But you see what it does to you when you play competition.
but on a sidebar note, that was very, very good of Kentucky to take to play some HBCUs, to get them some exposure, to spread the money around. Because if when Kentucky's, I hate to say, no, I don't hate to say it, I'm being realistic. Kentucky's a big time program, and when you play Kentucky, you make money. It's money for the program. So I appreciate that, and Coach Cal spreading that money around.
Jay, 100%.
But if Sheboy's not in there, he had what he coming off the bench. Sheboy had 20 points, 18 rebounds. But when
Yeah,
when he's out the game, he's done. The whole
yep,
game was done.
I agree. But somebody's got to step up. I think Cason Wallace. I think he could be that guy, even though he's a freshman. Wheeler. I think he needs to get more to control. I think he just wild sometimes. You know what I mean? And they miss some guys. They miss Sheways running the floor, and they're dribbling with their heads down or whatever. And I mean, layups. Passing the ball too late. So I mean, it's early in the season, and every year we want Kentucky to go undefeated, but that's not real. That's not going to be real. I
It's
think
fun to watch.
we got like South Carolina State. Like I want to say it's either tomorrow or Friday, and then we got Gonzaga Sunday night.
Sunday
So
night, that's going to be a big one. I mean, it's
yeah,
fun for me to watch Kentucky do this. I mean, because I do want to see you guys win, but when you don't, it's cool too. Um, Brian said we need to add Bellarmine and drop Louisville like a fantasy football line. But see, that's
dang.
dirty, man. That one was dirty.
I agree with Mike too. It's very early in the year. That's why people shouldn't panic that much. We just like that's the one thing about UK fans. They expect us to win every game. They expect us to be in the Final Four every year. They expect to win national championships. But that's what happens when you come to Kentucky. That's the pressure that Coach Cal has to go through every single year. And it's not going to stop. He just got
Well,
the number one recruiting class next year.
he got the number one recruiting class, but was he get? That's what we hear. I mean, as this meme says, wait until we get a whole nother. When is that going to be done? I love Kentucky basketball. It's great for the rivalry, but it's about sometimes it's got to come about hanging banners, and it's not about what Coach Cal's doing for young men. I love what he's doing for young men. I love that he's bringing these young men and he's getting them ready to go to the NBA. But at one point, does Kentucky say that's enough? We're ready to get back to winning some championships and hanging some banners? Because I know that as a Louisville fan, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready right now for Kenny Payne just to turn it on, and then we start winning again. I know it's not going to happen.
Been since '86.
2003. I was there. I remember.
James, where's that banner at?
Oh, we hate you, Brian. And Brian,
I love it.
Makes it hard as all, man. More parodies and commentators harder.
Wow.
And I agree with Mike McDonald. MSU is a top 10 team.
I can't believe they're not even ranked.
They'll be in there. They'll be in there at the end of the day. Let's not forget Oscar, Collins, family to Wheeler. Fredericks were all come, but when? Are we gonna stop making excuses and start getting down to the nitty-gritty about you guys have had more NBA players. You guys are the NBA pretty much, and you ain't winning no championships. I mean, yeah, and I think your championship as a fan, I really do believe that you guys are content with having what you guys going on as long as you guys beat Louisville every year. Just so you guys can talk trash to us.
See, I don't know. I mean, it is a must to beat you guys because I don't want to hear your mouth, just like I don't want to hear our mouth. But it does come a time when why can't you do both? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you? Have that mentality that you have and making them men, but making them champions also. Because that's that's exactly why.
Boom.
Cason Wallace said he wanted to come to UK because he wanted a championship. He said he wants to get a championship, win number 9. That's the reason why Reeves said he coming to Kentucky because he wanted to he wanted to get a championship. So a lot of these players that are coming in, it's not, they're not really big on the rivalry as like a lot of people are. They want to come there to win championships.
What results? I'm talking about the banner is hanging in Pritchard Community Center. Speaking of Pritchard Community Center.
Love it.
We're going to get back to some Pritchard Community Center legends. We're not done. College basketball is just heating up. And for people that just tune in or don't understand what's going on.
Exactly, James.
I'm here with my lifelong friend. And we're talking Kentucky and Louisville basketball right at the moment. James, it's so lopsided. Why does it even matter beating Louisville? It's like wrestling. Oh man, I thought he was man. That's great.
Mike, I agree with you 100% because I cannot stand Duke. Can't stand them. I didn't watch the game. I saw it on my phone this morning. They got beat, but I was glad they got beat.
I got beat too.
Can't stand them.
The Louisville cooling down. Louisville, we're sitting on ice. Oh man, Louisville is in a bad way, but I have not given up on Kenny Payne. I'm not giving up on him. I've been seeing in the Louisville chats and Louisville things about calling for his job already.
What?
Yeah, people are already like, they're jumping ship on him, kind of like they're saying I didn't hire. That wasn't my first choice of a hire. That's going on in the Louisville chats. He's not as good as what he says he is. It's a lot going on, and I'm like, he's 0-3, and he might go 0 for 0 whatever. Knock who's there, but it doesn't matter. I'm still going to give him a little bit more time.
Well, you got to give him time because the thing about it is, he's not gotten any of his recruits in there. So he's got to. You have to let him get a couple classes in there. Then you start rating him. But I understand, if you're a Louisville fan, just the frustration of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're not winning. They're not, finally not to take away from basketball, their football team is finally starting to make some headway now. Now it's getting basketball season, so I feel like that Louisville the fans, they want to see a better product out there than what they're seeing right now. So, and that's just going to take time.
3 to 4 years. That's what I'm with you too. Yeah. I'm like 3 to 4 years, but there's a lot of Louisville chatter that they made the wrong hire. I seen something in the Louisville chatter saying that Kenny Payne is going to be the fastest fire in Louisville history.
That won't happen.
that either.
I can't see that happening. I mean, I think you got because of the fact that he's because of the fact he's from he's from Louisville. He played Louisville. Most of their backers, they like Kenny Payne. That's why they brought him in there. I can't see them getting rid of him. I mean, it just takes a while. It's not gonna happen overnight.
I have
And
a solution for them for Louisville basketball. If you're listening out there, if you're come across this, and this is some legit stuff. I mean, it's not something that there's a lot of Louisville alumni who live around the area. Boo Brewer, Alvin Sims, Jason Osborne. Hire these guys. Everett Sullivan, bring these guys back in for specialty coaches. Most of the guys, and this is real talk, they train athletes anyway. They train high school players and junior high school players that are coming up. So they're still actively Peyton Sivas. They're all actively involved in basketball training. Bring these guys in there and work these guys out who are just coming in, who are Louisville basketball. That's something that Kentucky doesn't have because all Kentucky's former players are either in the NBA or retired from the NBA, so they really don't have that much stake and they're really not involved in the game. A lot of players that came in Louisville, they're still working within the industry. So I say, Louisville, hire these guys, get them in there working with your team. Defensive drills, get that fire so we can throw the L's up again, man. Because it worked out well for the hire. Wow, come on. That's a
got him.
Be a good Brian Northern would be. I like Brian Northern.
Well, I knew that. Speaking of Wagner, I knew that DJ Wagner was going to go to Kentucky after he signed that Neal deal with Nike.
Yeah.
So I mean, that just pretty much told everybody where he's going.
Oh, shut up, James. That's a word. I look at it. He said, y'all done threw up 3 L's already. That's a good one. That is a good one. That's a real good one.
So who does Louisville play next in basketball?
We're on our way to Maui to get
Arkansas,
and there's Texas Tech in there and stuff like that. But I think we made our point with the basketball. We've got a game coming. He's out throwing layups. Kirb's throwing alley oops, and James Wiley is dunking. I can't feel you, man.
Oh my!
Call up Kenny Payne, tell him to stop the plane. They're not even going. Okay, what we got going on here next is the rivalry. If we beat you guys in football, I don't care. As long as we beat you guys in football, I do not care what goes on. So let's do a recap of what's going on because I think that Louisville is on a spiral or forward momentum, and Kentucky has really took a stop for the worst. Louisville played
100 yards, second most by a quarterback in this program's history. Now he throws right sideline.
That was the first game of the season.
I think this was the last game was this the last game that we played?
No. Y'all played Clemson last.
Clemson.
Y'all played this. This is the first game of the year, and y'all got blasted.
Oops. Let me get to the right.
Y'all got blasted.
Well, okay. Since we're going to talk about blasted, we'll just go ahead and go to we'll switch it up and we'll go to Kentucky. I was trying to lead into Kentucky, but you set me up 6-3, still ranked. How in the heck is Kentucky still ranked?
I don't think we're ranked now. There's no way we could be ranked. I mean, after Vanderbilt beat us the way they did at our house, there's no way. But I think Kentucky's problem is, from what I see, they just on offense, I don't understand why they quit throwing to our tight ends. You know that the Dingle guy. I mean, he's caught a touchdown. He's open a lot. So I don't understand why they stopped going. Throwing to the tight end. We've got three dynamic wide receivers that Will Levis can't get the ball to because either he don't have time to. I've heard that there's talking about how that the wide receivers aren't separating. So what that does is just loads up the box to where Chris Rodriguez has got to run through like a 7-man front, which he's on some of these teams he's still getting yards on. So I mean, we just got to run the ball first and foremost, because when you can run the ball, that's going to open up passing and everything else. But if you can't run the ball and you're third and long every series, that's what's going to happen. Teams is going to blitz the crap out of us, and what happened there is what's going to happen. And that's what scares me about Louisville, because Louisville is their defense is quick, they're fast, they blitz. And I mean, if we can do that, I don't have a problem. I don't think we'll have a problem with Louisville. If we have to resort to passing, we're going to be in trouble.
Oh, NKU. Mike McDonald said NKU's up 9 on UC. Let's go. We're leading up into the Louisville Kentucky game. That's why we're doing this segment right here. And are you still confident, Kirb, that you guys are going to take the win on that day, or has reality set in and reality set in yet that we are going to be victorious that day?
I like our chances still because we're at home. At first I thought it was probably about a 80-20 shot that we would beat you guys. Now that's about I think that game honestly could go either way. I know Malik Cunningham's got a hurt hand, so with the weather being cold, that might affect him some. But as I said prior, I feel like if we can run the ball, which I feel like we can do, I think we'll be fine. But I think it's going to be the closest game that there's been in probably the last 3 years. Because the last three,
what you got to use, Jordan right there. That's who you guys got to stop.
He's got to get to that first.
Get there, and then you duck down to Marshawn Ford, and that's going to be trouble. That's right there. It's going to be some trouble.
Oh, we got Valentine to lock him up.
I'm telling you. So this is I think because next week we're both going to go in 6-4. So we're both going bowling. We're both going to the bowl. Look at that right there. You're not going to be able to stop that. He said, never heard of her.
But that's the thing that we got to do. We've got to, and I'm hearing that we might be getting DeAndre Square back, which if we get him back, he's like our defensive leader. So that's going to be huge if we can get him back for the Georgia game, which I believe that we're going to get annihilated by them. Georgia is just on another planet this year. And I would be shocked if they don't repeat. I just feel like that they're on another level compared to everybody else. We could be looking at the new Alabama, be honest with you.
Jeez.
They're tough.
So are you confident? Are you confident in the beating Kentucky? Because I don't care the rest of the season to me. Like if we play NC State next week, when we play NC State this weekend and we get beat, I don't even care. All I care about is this game against Kentucky.
Yes.
This game against Kentucky will ride me all the way through basketball season. Because no matter what y'all do, if we beat you guys, I'll say, well, at least we beat you in football. I'm being honest.
Well, if y'all beat us, when is that game? Like next Saturday? It's next Saturday. Because we got Georgia this week, and then we got you all for the last game of the year. So it'll be next Saturday. So if you guys somehow beat us, we're going to have a COVID outbreak the following Wednesday. or monkeypox.
Yeah, and then we're gonna yeah. I'm all for that. I am for that 100%. I'm glad Jay and Brian are both on here. We'll get some good insight. We're gonna move on to 6A football. We got Madison Central at Ballard, Trinity at Bryan Station, Central Horton, Bullitt East, and Henderson County at Male. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, Kirb? What's your thoughts, Brian? What's your thoughts, Jay? I can tell you the thoughts on Ryle. I mean, the Ryle versus Ballard game. Ryle came in and they kept the ball away from the kickoff return team. They onside kicked, got the ball, returned it, recovered it. The defense, Ballard defense is playing solid. Ballard Bruins, Little Hort, yeah, man, they're playing well. Madison Central, I don't know what they got, and I know that they got the winner of Bryan Station and Trinity. So, what's your thoughts, Kirb?
I just like to see. It's gonna be a tough game because I know Bullitt East is tough. Plus, it's on the road, but I just hope that Central can pull off what I would consider like an upset. So hopefully they get the job done. Also, I got to pull for for Trinity because my dude David Ricks, his son Caleb plays for Trinity, number 18.
Nice.
I believe he's like a cornerback. So I got to pull for Trinity, and then of course I'll be pulling for Ballard also.
Nice. Three goal line stand Central. That's big time.
Central's got some hogs up front, man. You know they got some big dudes. So if they can just maintain what they've been doing and just keep going, going the course, I think that I think that they could, like I said, I think they can prove the upset.
So Brian's saying Wolf at Male's hard to beat twice in the same year. If he's talking about Ballard, Ballard's would have Trinity next. So if the Bullitt East beat Male, I believe too. And from what I'm hearing, Bullitt East likes to slang the ball. They like to throw it all. He said, I know two of them personally. They like to throw the ball. My predictions is Male over Henderson County, Central Horton over Bullitt East, Bryan Station over Trinity, and Ballard over Madison Central. That's just what I'd like to see. I don't know.
Yes. I don't know how good Trinity really is this year.
They got Ballard beat Trinity.
Hey Tracy.
They beat him once. Ballard beat Trinity once already this year, and it was a really good game. Ballard beat Male. Ballard beat Male this year as well. So the only team that Ballard's been beat by is Scott County and Manual. Only team, and there's no teams that they've been beat by in this tournament.
Wow.
So and Ballard's defenses, they got the number one defense in the state. So
who beat St. X last week?
Bullitt East.
Wow.
Bullitt East, they slang the ball. I heard they throw all over you. So looking forward to seeing what's going on there.
Just gotta keep that quarterback in check, put some hits on him.
So moving along to the community spotlight over the weekend. Here, Brian said, seen Davis in his game this year. Hey, Henderson County is still in it. Thanks for letting us know on that one.
They're tough.
Wolf adjustments are tough. Yeah, man. I mean, but everybody watches film. Everybody watches film. Male beat X. Male beat X. Okay. Bullitt East beat somebody. I can't think of it. It's right here in front of me too. And for other, I'll go over some other teams as well for other people that might be watching. Newport Central Catholics playing Kentucky Country Day. Paintsville versus Pikesville. Holy Cross Louisville.
Manual beat St. X.
Manual. Okay, Manual beat.
Hey, Mr. Thomas.
Greenup County versus Mason County. Woodford County versus Frederick Douglass. Union County at Bardstown. That might be it's a good game for people to check out.
Wow.
Manual. Okay, Manual. That's what team that beat them. Henderson is good. Defense is stout. Purdue commit is legit. Okay.
Wow. Bullet East beat Mel without Swanee.
Oh, okay.
Bullet East tough.
Hey.
They're tough.
Good luck, Bruins, man. Good luck, Bruins. I see online that, and I couldn't find it, but for the community spotlight, I wanted to bring shine some light on. I think it was E-Town High School's girls cheerleaders won the state championship or something like that. I seen that in the community, but I couldn't find. I seen it and then it went away. So
who was it?
I'm not sure if it was Elizabethtown Panthers girl or the cheerleading squad won some kind of state recognition. I think they're the best cheerleading squad in the state. And if so, I wanted to bring some light and shed on that. I don't know if you knew about that, but also I wanted to talk about Veterans Day. I had my buddy Kelly Smith came over for Veterans Day, so I got to see him. Everybody likes Kelly, man. Kelly's a good dude, special guy in Hardin County community. He's probably the highest ranking guy that I know, still in the military. So want to say a special shout out to
what is he,
Kelly.
Lieutenant Colonel?
Yeah, Lieutenant Colonel now. So giving a special shout out to Kelly and thank you for your service and everything that you do for the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Big time.
So how's you feeling, Kirby, man? What happened with your Cowboys, man? I mean, I know we got to get through. We got to get through these weeks because it's not always sunshine, baby. It's not always the sunshine.
Bro, I'm telling you, it was a rough weekend for Kirby sports. With Dallas, Aaron Rodgers, he's like a legend, especially against us. And when we went for it on fourth down. Didn't get it. They left him 42 seconds left. Shut up, Breakers. Then I knew it was game. I said, we're going to lose. And then somebody was like, well, why didn't they kick a field goal? It wouldn't have mattered. If we would have kicked the field goal the way our defense was crushing, they'd have went down and scored a touchdown and we'd have lost anyways. So, the only way I saw us winning that game was scoring a touchdown. But I will say this, again, there was a play against CeeDee Lamb, pass interference call. They did not call it. Again, we got screwed at Green Bay. I mean, I know it's been a long time, but I still say Dez caught the ball. Unbelievable, bro. That hurts me. Because that year I feel like that we could have won a Super Bowl. And I agree with Brian. I was against them signing Dak to a long-term deal. I think he's a decent quarterback, but as far as taking us to the next level, as far as being going far in the playoffs, I just don't see it. Now we're stuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So same with Elliott. We're stuck.
What about you guys gonna get Odell Beckham Jr. the third, or what is his name? Odell Beckham Jr.
The thing about it is you got to give him the ball. That's the problem we're having. We can't get the guys the ball. So until CeeDee Lamb's a great receiver. Michael Gallup, he's a good receiver. We got good tight ends. I think first and foremost, you got to start looking at Dak Prescott. Just like Stephen A. Smith said. He said all Dallas's problems, or most of Dallas's problems, you don't need to go no further than Dak Prescott. And I believe that. Because he makes us go. And if he's not playing well, then say he crazy. If he's not playing well, then our whole team's gonna suffer. It's just crazy to me.
That's at elementary. That's what we were just talking about. Elementary ground and pound first, set up the pass.
But they love Ezekiel Elliott. I think Pollard to me is more productive But again, they've got this big old contract with Zeke. Jerry Jones likes Zeke. So guess who's going to get precedence? Zeke.
He's paying the bills.
Yeah.
Do you think they have a shot at the playoffs, or you think they're out? I mean, because of what I was seeing the other day, I was seeing today actually, you got Minnesota, you got Philly, then you got the Cowboys over there hanging out in the wild card race. But I mean, do you think they got what it takes?
I think we can definitely be in the playoffs. I think we could be like a wild card team. I mean, we might even make it to like the second weekend or whatever, but if we run against a team like the 49ers or something like that, I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't know if we can do it, just because of the fact that if we can run the ball, I think we can play against anybody. But why couldn't they stop the Packers? Rodgers been winning about. Because we make everybody look good, James. We're like Alabama in college. Everybody wants to beat the Cowboys. And of course, this guy comes out of nowhere that nobody's ever heard of and has a freaking career day against Dallas. And that's to me on our defense, that's been one of our Achilles heels is our secondary. Our secondary is horrible. Other than Diggs, our secondary is suspect.
Usually, Micah Parsons, he shakes things up so much where people don't even know how to even get the ball past the secondary.
And see, when Micah Parsons is doing what he can do, the secondary it doesn't show our imperfections back there. When he can't get pressure and stuff like that, then you see what's really going on.
But people have been having a run game because I think Philly ran the perfect game plan at Micah Parsons. Yeah. Trips at him. 3 people running at him. He can't guard 3. He can't defend 3 people.
No.
When he was flying in under the radar, but I think they figured people watch film, man. If we can analyze it and we're
come on, Jay.
Normally everybody beats the Cowboys.
Oh, Lord.
Preseason Super Bowl pick. Bills, Bucks, still possible.
No, Bucks will not go to Super Bowl.
I don't
even know. Right now, the way the Bills are playing, they may not go to Super Bowl. And speaking of the Bills, like Jay was talking about earlier, what about that game that could happen? 6 feet of snow they're predicting.
And they're going to play it?
3 to 6 feet of snow. It could be at that game.
And they're going to play it? You think they're going to play?
Yeah, they're going to play it. Could you imagine? I mean, they'll have the field, the field will be cleared and everything like that, but I don't know about the stands. And then they're talking on top of that, they're saying they could be like 30 or 40 mile per hour wind gusts.
At that point, it's Bengals, it's the Browns, right?
Huh?
It's versus the Browns or
no? Browns. Unbelievable. But I don't know if they'll cancel that or not.
It says, "Are you ready for some snow?" 1 p.m. area impact the NFC Championship. Yeah, man.
Good God Almighty. 3 to 6 feet, not inches, feet.
In 28 degrees.
Good God Almighty.
Would you want to play in that, Kirb?
Yes. That'd be so fun.
That's what I'm talking about. I knew you'd want to play.
That would be so fun. Yes, sir. That's big. Hey, that's big man weather. Philly snowball. Hey, I tell you what, Philly won't. I can tell you this: Philly will not beat us in Week 16. They lucky they got beat other night by the Commanders, because I would have loved nothing more for them to be undefeated coming to Dallas on the 16th, Week 16, and we take that undefeated streak and shove it where you know where. That's exactly what would have happened. They will not beat us again. You hear me, Sean Taylor? That's my boss. That's one of my sales managers.
Uh-huh.
He's like a huge Philly fan because he's from that area up there. So,
who do you want to beat? The Big Beezer?
Oh, please. Here we go.
Because Philly's rest.
Yeah, right.
That's a good point, though. Week 16, if you're going into playoffs, you don't need to play. I know the Bengals. Hey, if they got the number one seed already locked up, that's a CJ. That's a very good, valid point. That's a. I mean, I love Kirb. I love his enthusiasm, but that's a really good, valid point.
But the thing about it is, their coach talked a lot of smack after the game. I mean, he even threw F-bombs at our sideline after the game. So that rivalry that we had with Philly is very well been reignited. So even if they've won that, I think they still going to want to beat us.
I don't know.
But if not, I'll take that W. That just solidifies the playoff spot.
So, how do you feel? I was talking to. How do you feel about the exit of the Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, that whole era? We're seeing out with the old and in with the new. So right now, who do you think's better? I mean, I know we're not talking errors. I'm talking about right now. Do you think that the wisdom and the wisdom and the know-how of the game is better for the Tom Brady's and the Aaron Rodgers and that whole, or do you think it's a new day?
I think it's slow but surely. I think it's becoming a new day. You can see it. I mean, you look at Josh Allen. You looking at Abear out there in San Diego. You look at what's his name, Patrick Mahomes. You know, I definitely think that there's even the dude from Jacksonville, Lawrence, Trevor.
Oh, yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
So you think about people like that. Those are guys. Those are the guys. I feel like that are, get ready to take the next step as far as taking over Rodgers and Brady.
And we can't forget about Joey Burrows, and him and
oh yeah, bro, yeah.
He's a player. He's definitely
he
a
is,
player.
man. That dude, he's a winner. He is definitely a winner. I mean, I don't like the Bengals, but I do like Joe Burrow. I think that Pittsburgh. Yeah. I think they got a good guy with Kenny Pickett too. I
haven't really got a chance to watch him play that much this year.
He's a lot of confidence. He just got to get some good people around him. But I really think that he's going to do well. I really do. So we'll see. And I mean, and just based off of this year, I mean, you got to start putting Jalen Hurts in that conversation.
Definitely.
Because, I mean, that dude is showing out. Burrow has the same problem. Levis has no protection. You're right.
I mean, if Burrows wasn't getting sacked 5 to 7 times a game, it'd be a completely different game. But that's what goes to show how tough he is as a player, because he's getting sacked that many times. But when the game's on the line, he finds Chase. He finds his receivers, and especially if we can run the ground. Because when we had 5 touchdowns, what's his name? Had 5 touchdowns. I can't. His name escapes me. Mixon, 5 touchdowns. And they were like, oh, that's the worst team in the league. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
To the worst team in the league. You're supposed to beat the worst team in the league by 5,000 touchdowns if you can. Steelers. Like Brian said, Steelers in the Steel Curtain have seen it happen.
I'm telling you, man. Like last year, and Jay makes a good point. Last year, that's the big difference. Levis probably didn't have to wash his pants.
Mm-hmm.
Now this year, I mean, he takes 3 drops. He takes a 3-drop step. I mean, he's getting annihilated. He can't even get his feet set. And I mean, somebody's on him. It's crazy to me.
The Ole Miss game, whenever that's how they ended the game. They pass rushed him real tough.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have had another step, I think he had somebody in stride. But
yeah,
enough time.
Well, sometimes I think that he holds the ball too long as well. I think because he's probably trying to, I don't know this, I've never played quarterback, but maybe he's looking at, he's trying to read his reads. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I just think that he does have to wash his pants. But I think. but
CJ, Levis will have less yards, less everything. We want to talk about quarterbacks, and I don't like Malik, but Malik will have a better game than Levis during the dream football game. Since both of us right now are football teams. Right now, we're both football teams.
I don't know about that. I don't. I really don't. Because I think if our defense is out of sort a little bit, but I think that it's probably some easy tweaking that they can get done. If they can get back to playing like they played, like against Mississippi State and a couple other teams that we played, which I feel like they can get back to, I think that y'all gonna be in trouble. But I still think it's gonna be a very close game. I mean, it could come down to like a last possession type deal, where all the other ones. I trust Brad White.
Who's Brad White?
I just didn't he used to be didn't he used to be the quarterback for Tampa Bay? Brad White.
Watching be some
defensive coordinator.
Okay, it's an outside linebacker coach
for Kentucky.
That's defensive coordinator. Yep.
Okay.
Brad White. I
hate to agree with Hort. Cunningham is more mobile because Levis is hurt. Well, Cunningham's not exactly healthy.
It ain't because Levis is hurt, because Cunningham's a more mobile quarterback than Levis.
Well, Levis is taking some shots. He's not healthy.
Right.
That's the thing about Levis. He's not healthy. He's actually playing through some injuries.
Malik ain't never been healthy though.
But he's got something going on with his I think it's his non-throwing hand. One of his hands is hurt.
No excuses. If he's not playing against y'all, against us, there's no excuses. Y'all still got to get drugged. I mean, with Levis or without Levis, Malik's going to have a better game than Levis off rip.
So what's your I guess we can say that for next week as far as like score prediction.
Sure. We got about 8 minutes left. Last week we started talking about Pritchard Community Center legends, and we came up with a few. We came up we J Mac. We said J Mac's a Pritchard Community Center legend. You, of course. I'm a Pritchard Community Center legend. I think we should induct a couple more every week, and I have somebody who I want to put in mix. Mike Johnson.
MJ.
Mike Johnson at one point was the best basketball player at Pritchard at one point, because we've all had our moments where we get hot, where we were the first pick, where you're first pick, when you just been down there a few days, because the center is, if you lost, you wasn't getting back on the court on certain nights. So I would like to add Mike Johnson into the Pritchard Community Center Legends category.
I agree with that one. And then I'm going to go with, I like to put DT in there, Don Thomas. I always like playing against Damon. I know he's going to kill me, but I still like playing against him. You know what I mean? Good dude. Still friends with him. Talk on occasion. But yeah, I definitely think Damon deserves to be in there in that conversation. I think he's one of the best athletes to ever come out of this area.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely. We've had some good athletes, but Damon in that era is.
As far as like total, I mean, it's like everything that he did, he was good at. Football, basketball, baseball. Hell, if he'd went out for cheerleading, he probably been good at that. I mean, but he was. I mean, he was a phenomenal athlete, and he was always a good person to me. I always liked Damon, I always respected Damon, and like I said, I still do. So yeah.
So that's we're every week we can grow this thing until we can figure out how we can pair. So we put a whole bunch of legends into the box, into the mix, and then we have a draft of who would take who to make a perfect team. Because I know if I was going to put together a team right now, I know I'd go to my go-to. Alvin Garrison, Justin Whalen, Bill Rothrock, myself, and then I got a 5 wild card. I wouldn't know who I'd pick up. It depended on the day. You know, you need a ball handler, you go get Jay. If you need someone to shoot a 3, get you. If you need somebody that's going to dunk, grab Quincy. You know, there's so many ball came through. Can't remember Keith's last name. Swimmer white guy from Meade County. I don't know. I can't remember a slim white guy from older white guy from Meade County named Keith. Can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when North Horton guys used to come down and ball with us. When Gary Valentine would come down and ball with us, man, that was be some. But the center would have a line. You're sitting down there waiting. If you got knocked off on a Sunday, you might as well just go
home because you were not
go shoot on the side goals.
Yes,
go shoot on the side goals, and if somebody happens to get a pull up hammy or something like that, you can be on there to be able to run in. But it was over.
Or go to the other end, which we call the JV end.
JV.
But it was fun though, man, because it was just like everybody knew each other and we all had a good time, and for the most part we always got along. Of course, it was really, you know, it was physical down there sometimes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you know, everybody got along. There was not a lot of you know, fighting or finger pointing. Another person I'll probably put in there is Tommy Furman. You know, Tommy was tough. And he's a dog as far as like getting rebounds and driving and jumping. So yeah, I definitely put Tommy Furman in there too.
Yeah, we had Cecil White, Scotty.
Yeah,
Scott. I mean, I guess it was different neighborhoods would come in, because I know like when that whole neighborhood came in, like with Scotty and Cecil and Justin, you knew what you were getting. But it was, it was man, we had some good times.
And boy, me and Cecil, we still go back and forth I swear it's every night. He's always sending me something on Messenger. Don't let UK lose. Boy, that's the first thing I hear my messenger go off, I know it's him. It never fails.
He's talking about Jesse. Was Jesse the older guy who was?
Oh, I remember old Jesse. Yes.
45 shooting.
Yeah, I remember old Jesse.
Big Toot, James Tinker.
Yeah.
James Tinker. That's the first player I used to see him dunk on people all the time. Willie Walker was good.
Yeah.
There was a time where there were some battles. Me and Willie used to have some battles, man.
Rod Garrison.
Rod.
One of my favorites that I always went up against was Shane Stockton.
Yeah.
We were just, dude, we were like a mirror image of each other, and we would just sit there and we would battle back and forth. You know, I mean, it was like playing each other in the mirror, but I love playing against Shane.
Competitive, man. I think at the Pritchard Community Center, it taught us a lot of things about, you know, brotherhood and being good people. I seen Jesse 2 months ago. The dude has an age.
G. Martin.
What's up, Garen? Garen, tough. Garen, dude. I mean, like,
yes, sir.
We could a lot of battles. That's what I'm saying. I know we got like a minute and a half left, but we learned a lot. I learned a lot at the community center about how to take a foul, take a loss. You know, a lot of kids nowadays don't know how to take a loss, and playing to where if you lost, you wasn't going to play for the rest of the day.
One thing I did, not to cut you off, but the one thing that I hated about playing against Garen, that damn hip check. When he would pick you, he'd stick that butt out, and you get in the hip check. I guarantee you, yes, sir. Like, go home, have a Charlie horse in your thigh for a week.
Yeah,
crazy. But yeah, man, it was fun times, and we had a good time. And you know, a lot of us are still friends today. We may not talk all the time, but you know, if we see each other out and say, "Hey, what's up?" Exactly, Jay. We say what's up, and you know, like I was telling you before the show started, you know, Garen came over last night and watched the UK game with me. So, and I know that it's been years ago, but me, you, and Jay
Yeah.
watch the dream game together. That was awesome.
I think Garen was with us that night too. Garen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do that again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in with us again on this week's episode of Kirb and Hort's Wednesday Night Sports. We'll be back with you next week, and go Cards, L's up, baby.
Go Cats, L's down.